We begin our journey by confronting a truth that many of us have silently carried for years: the idea that to create the life we desire, we must struggle. From the moment we set a goal, we are taught to push, to grind, to force our way through obstacles, believing that effort equals progress. We chase achievements, accumulate checklists, and measure our worth by how hard we work. And yet, despite all the effort, many of us feel stuck, frustrated, or drained, as though the universe is resisting us. This sense of struggle, this constant tension, has become normalized in society, leaving us to believe that the harder we try, the closer we come to manifestation. But what if this belief is, in fact, the very thing blocking our desires? What if the secret to quantum manifestation does not lie in struggle at all, but in simplicity, in allowing, in alignment with the natural flow of life? The paradox is subtle yet profound. The harder we fight for something, the more resistance we create. Our minds, conditioned to equate effort with results, often overlook the simplest truth: that reality is not shaped by force but by vibration. Just as a river flows effortlessly around obstacles, our intentions, when aligned with the natural rhythm of the universe, can manifest without strain. The key lies in understanding that quantum manifestation operates through resonance, not effort. Every thought, feeling, and belief carries energy. When we push against life, we generate friction, doubt, and tension, which counteract the very outcomes we seek. Conversely, when we embody clarity, ease, and presence, we amplify our energy in a way that naturally attracts aligned experiences. Imagine a seed planted in fertile soil. No matter how much you water it, shake it, or attempt to force it to grow faster, the seed will flourish only in its own time, under the right conditions. Similarly, manifestation is less about what we do externally and more about how we nurture the energy within. When we align with simplicity, we create the internal conditions that allow our desires to bloom effortlessly. This is not passive waiting. It is an active state of presence, awareness, and trust in the unseen forces that shape reality. In this light, struggle becomes unnecessary, even counterproductive, while simplicity becomes the most powerful tool in our manifestation practice. Many seekers confuse action with struggle. They believe that if they are not constantly visualizing, scripting, meditating, or affirming, they are failing. But in truth, quantum manifestation does not demand endless techniques. It requires understanding, clarity, and the ability to embody the state of already having what we desire. This is the art of simplicity, focusing not on the steps but on the energy behind the steps. It is a shift from doing to being. Instead of chasing outcomes, we cultivate alignment. Instead of forcing, we allow. Instead of exhausting ourselves with effort, we open to the effortless flow that the universe has always offered. This is a radical reimagining of how life works. The contrast between struggle and simplicity is stark, yet illuminating. Our old self, conditioned by fear, doubt, and societal expectations, clings to effort, thinking it will secure results. The new self, awakened to the principles of quantum manifestation, recognizes that ease does not mean inaction, and simplicity does not mean laziness. It is a conscious choice to step into alignment, to trust the invisible currents that carry our desires toward us. It is understanding that the universe responds not to frantic striving, but to the vibrational harmony we cultivate within ourselves. And as we begin to internalize this, something remarkable happens. Resistance softens, clarity emerges, and even the most elusive desires start to take shape with gentle, inevitable grace. By the end of this section, the viewer should feel a sense of relief, curiosity, and possibility. They are introduced to a new paradigm, one that challenges the relentless pursuit of goals and invites them to experience manifestation as an elegant, effortless art. They begin to see their own struggle in a new light, recognizing that the very effort they have been relying on may have been a hidden barrier all along. This is the doorway into the deeper exploration of quantum simplicity, where science, spirit, and self-awareness converge to reveal how effortless manifestation truly works. It is the foundation upon which the rest of the journey will unfold, setting the tone for transformation that is both practical and profoundly liberating. To truly grasp why quantum manifestation thrives in simplicity, we must begin to see reality through a different lens, a lens that blends both science and spirit. At its core, manifestation is not a random occurrence, nor is it a test of endurance. It is the natural unfolding of energy responding to consciousness. Every thought, feeling, and belief carries a vibration, a subtle frequency that interacts with the infinite possibilities around us. The universe, in this sense, is not a rigid structure to be manipulated through force. It is a responsive field that mirrors the energy we emit. When our internal vibration is chaotic, tense, or filled with doubt, we create friction in the flow of manifestation. When our energy is calm, aligned, and coherent, we become a magnet for experiences that resonate with our desired reality. Quantum physics offers fascinating insight into this principle. At the microscopic level, particles do not behave like tiny, predictable objects. They exist as waves of probability, influenced by observation and intention. The famous double-slit experiment, for instance, shows that particles change their behavior based on whether they are observed, suggesting that consciousness plays an active role in shaping reality. From a spiritual perspective, this aligns beautifully with the idea that manifestation is not about forcing outcomes but about tuning ourselves to the frequency of what we wish to attract. Just as a radio picks up only the station it is tuned to, our consciousness will naturally attract experiences that match its vibrational signal. Simplicity is therefore not a lack of effort. It is a refinement of energy, a harmonization with the natural laws that govern creation itself. Many seekers fall into the trap of overcomplication. They create elaborate manifestation routines, set rigid goals, and measure their progress obsessively. While intention and focus are important, these practices can sometimes generate more resistance than results. When the mind becomes entangled in how and when, it forgets the most essential element: alignment. True quantum manifestation occurs not in the frenzied pursuit of action, but in the quiet, confident knowing that what we desire is already on its way. This is why simplicity works so powerfully. It allows us to shed doubt, reduce internal friction, and cultivate a vibrational state that is naturally attractive. Every time we surrender unnecessary effort, we open space for the universe to orchestrate outcomes in ways far beyond our limited imagination. Alignment begins with awareness. We must first recognize the patterns of struggle that have dominated our lives. How often do we chase after goals with tension and anxiety, believing that only through relentless effort can we succeed? How often do we allow fear or impatience to dictate our actions, unknowingly creating obstacles for ourselves? By observing these habits without judgment, we create the possibility of change. We begin to replace struggle with conscious presence, and we start to understand that our energy is the ultimate instrument of creation. The shift is subtle but profound. Instead of focusing on external results, we focus on cultivating a state of being that is in harmony with what we wish to manifest. Visualization, a common tool in manifestation, is most effective when it is approached with simplicity. It is not about forcing images or scripting elaborate scenarios. It is about feeling the essence of what is desired as if it already exists. When we embody that state, our vibration aligns with the reality we wish to experience, and the universe responds accordingly. Similarly, gratitude, mindfulness, and emotional clarity are not mere spiritual exercises. They are methods of tuning our energy to the frequency of effortless creation. These practices, when embraced without pressure or struggle, create an internal environment that supports manifestation naturally. The contrast becomes clear. The old way of manifestation relies on pushing against life, while the new way relies on becoming a resonant vessel for life itself. Science and spirituality converge in this approach. Neuroscience shows that our brains are highly sensitive to expectation and perception, shaping our experiences through focus and belief. Positive, coherent energy primes our consciousness to recognize opportunities and solutions that were always present, but previously unnoticed. Quantum physics reminds us that probabilities exist in a vast field of potentiality, awaiting alignment with our consciousness. And spiritual wisdom teaches that surrender, presence, and simplicity are not passive states. They are active, powerful methods of tuning ourselves to the natural rhythm of reality. By embracing simplicity, we move from a fragmented, effort-driven state to a unified, intentional state of being, where manifestation becomes a natural reflection of inner harmony. As we internalize these ideas, it becomes evident that struggle is not a requirement for creation. It is a barrier. The moments of greatest manifestation often occur when we step back, release control, and allow the universe to act through us. Effort, when focused on alignment rather than forcing outcomes, becomes elegant and efficient. We learn to trust that what we desire is already moving toward us, and our role is to maintain a clear, coherent, and receptive energy. This is the beauty of quantum simplicity. It does not demand perfection, it does not require exhaustion, and it does not impose rigid timelines. It invites us to embrace life with trust, presence, and openness, knowing that the unseen forces of reality respond to the quality of our consciousness rather than the quantity of our struggle. By the end of this section, viewers are invited to feel the shift themselves. The contrast between old, force-driven habits and the effortless flow of quantum simplicity is not merely theoretical. it can be experienced. They begin to understand that the secret to manifestation lies not in doing more, but in being more, not in pushing harder but in aligning deeper. This realization sets the stage for the next section, where we explore the practical mechanics of effortless manifestation, showing exactly how these principles can be translated into daily life, habits, and mindset to create real, tangible change. Having explored the principles of quantum simplicity and the subtle interplay between energy and consciousness, we now move into the practical heart of manifestation, the mechanics of creating effortlessly. This is where the abstract ideas of vibration, alignment, and resonance become lived experience. It is here that the seeker learns to bridge the gap between theory and reality, translating understanding into action without falling into the trap of struggle. The first key lies in recognizing that manifestation is less about accumulation and more about embodiment. It is not the external rituals, the endless to-do lists, or the frantic goal-chasing that create change. It is the internal state, the quality of being, that shapes the outer world. Our emotions, beliefs, and daily experiences serve as the vibrational blueprint for what appears in our lives. Visualization, when approached with simplicity, becomes a powerful tool. Unlike the common misconception of rigid, detailed mental scripting, effective visualization is about immersing oneself in the essence of the desired reality. It is not about imagining every single detail of an outcome but about feeling it deeply, fully, and authentically. Imagine the sensation of living your dream life, the emotions, the sense of ease, the clarity, the joy. This embodiment of the desired state signals to the universe that you are already aligned with what you seek. The contrast is stark. The old self strains to make it happen, burdened by doubt and fear, while the new self effortlessly radiates the frequency of manifestation, inviting its arrival with gentle magnetism. Emotional alignment is equally critical. Our feelings are the language of vibration, communicating directly with the field of infinite potentiality. When we focus on feelings of fear, scarcity, or frustration, we inadvertently generate resistance. When we cultivate feelings of gratitude, trust, and excitement for what is unfolding, we amplify the signal of our intentions. This is why the practice of emotional tuning is often more impactful than physical action. Daily habits such as journaling, affirming, meditating, or simply taking moments to notice and appreciate what is present can transform energy from scattered to coherent. Through repetition, the mind and body begin to resonate at a frequency that naturally attracts aligned experiences. In this state, manifestation is no longer a distant goal but a reflection of an inner reality already realized. Letting go is another cornerstone of effortless manifestation. Many seekers hold on tightly to desired outcomes, imagining that constant focus and worry will accelerate results. Ironically, this clinging generates friction, blocking the flow of creation. Quantum simplicity teaches that release, surrender, and trust are not passive behaviors but active practices of alignment. By detaching from the outcome and placing confidence in the unseen orchestration of the universe, we remove resistance and allow manifestation to occur naturally. It is akin to a dancer letting the music guide their movements. The effort is present, but it is informed by rhythm and flow, not force. The new self, therefore, learns to act with intention yet remain fluid, aware that the path of least resistance often yields the most extraordinary results. A crucial aspect of embodying the future self is presence. This is the art of existing fully in the now while holding the vibration of what you desire. Presence does not mean passivity, it means conscious awareness, a mindfulness of thought, emotion, and energy. The future self is not something far away, it is a state of consciousness you can step into now. Every decision, every response, every quiet moment of clarity reinforces this state. Over time, the body, mind, and spirit adapt to this higher vibrational frequency, creating a magnetic pull for opportunities, synchronicities, and experiences that match the desired reality. Contrast this with the old self, constantly projecting into the future with anxiety or dragging the past into the present. The energy is scattered, tense, and resistant, keeping manifestation perpetually out of reach. Practical frameworks for daily life help bridge understanding with consistent practice. Start by identifying the emotional state that corresponds with your desired manifestation. Imagine it, feel it, and let it saturate your being for moments each day. Next, practice gentle detachment. Acknowledge desires, affirm them, then release rigid expectations. Observe signs, coincidences, and subtle guidance in daily life, treating them as evidence that the universe is responsive. Finally, cultivate gratitude as a baseline state. Gratitude not only shifts focus from lack to abundance but also recalibrates vibration, harmonizing the internal world with the energy of effortless creation. Each of these practices embodies the principle that simplicity, rather than struggle, generates tangible, powerful results. Storytelling and real-life examples further illuminate this process. Consider someone who has struggled for years to attract financial abundance through sheer effort, working late hours, chasing opportunities, stressing over every detail. Despite their work ethic, results remain limited, inconsistent, or stressful. Now imagine that same person shifting their focus inward. They begin feeling gratitude for what is present, visualizing abundance with calm assurance, embodying the energy of prosperity in every interaction. They continue to act but with intuition and flow rather than compulsion. Over time, doors open, opportunities appear, and circumstances align effortlessly. This is not magic. It is the practical application of quantum simplicity, where internal harmony is the primary driver of external reality. It is also important to recognize that manifestation does not always follow linear logic. The universe often responds in ways that feel mysterious, indirect, or even delayed from a human perspective. Here, patience becomes a vital ally. The old self, driven by urgency, struggles against timing, creating frustration and doubt. The new self, attuned to vibrational alignment, understands that divine timing is a natural component of effortless manifestation. By remaining aligned, receptive, and emotionally coherent, one maximizes the probability that desires will materialize in the most harmonious way possible. By the conclusion of this section, viewers should feel empowered with practical tools while experiencing a deeper shift in perspective. They begin to understand that manifestation is less about chasing and more about becoming, less about effort and more about resonance. The mechanics are deceptively simple. Visualize, align emotionally, embody the future self, release attachment, and trust the process. Yet within this simplicity lies immense transformative power. The contrast is palpable. The old self, trapped in struggle, is replaced by the new self, moving with grace, clarity, and confidence, attracting outcomes effortlessly. This prepares the audience for the next stage, where we explore obstacles, misconceptions, and how to maintain flow amidst challenges, reinforcing the principle that simplicity, patience, and alignment are the truest paths to manifestation. Even after understanding the principles of quantum simplicity and mastering the mechanics of effortless manifestation, many seekers encounter obstacles that threaten to pull them back into old patterns. These obstacles are rarely external. More often they are subtle, internal misalignments that arise from fear, doubt, and ingrained beliefs about what it takes to create. The mind, conditioned by years of struggle and societal expectation, tends to resist ease. It whispers that results should come only through effort, that waiting is risky, or that anything effortless is somehow unearned. These internal narratives can quietly sabotage manifestation, even when the individual has practiced alignment and embodiment diligently. Recognizing these obstacles is the first step to navigating them, transforming potential blocks into gateways for deeper flow. A common misconception is that manifestation requires constant action, that one must always be doing, planning, and controlling. While inspired action is indeed valuable, the line between productive effort and struggle is subtle yet critical. Acting from fear, impatience, or desperation generates resistance, while acting from clarity and intuition maintains alignment. Many seekers mistake busyness for progress, measuring success by how much they accomplish rather than how aligned they feel. Here, quantum simplicity offers a recalibration. Progress is measured by vibrational coherence, emotional clarity, and the degree to which one embodies their desired reality. When we shift our focus from external validation to internal alignment, obstacles begin to dissolve naturally, revealing a clear path toward manifestation. Impatience is another barrier that frequently arises. Desire creates excitement, and excitement can easily turn into urgency. The old self, impatient and tense, becomes attached to a timeline, worrying that things are not happening quickly enough. This attachment generates internal friction, which the universe mirrors externally as delays, misalignments, or unexpected detours. The new self, however, learns patience as an active form of alignment. Patience does not mean passivity, it is a confident trust in the timing of life, a deep understanding that the universe orchestrates outcomes in ways that are often more harmonious than our limited perspective allows. By practicing patience, we maintain vibrational clarity, allowing manifestation to unfold naturally and without struggle. Self-doubt and fear are perhaps the most insidious obstacles. Even with knowledge and practice, the mind can question the possibility of success, replaying old narratives of lack or unworthiness. These doubts generate resistance, pulling the individual back into the frequency of struggle. Addressing them requires both awareness and compassionate self-inquiry. Rather than fighting fear or attempting to ignore it, quantum simplicity encourages observing it without judgment, understanding its origin, and gently redirecting focus toward alignment. By reframing doubt as a signal of misalignment rather than failure, seekers learn to maintain their state of being even amidst uncertainty, keeping the vibration steady and coherent. Overthinking and mental clutter are also frequent barriers. The human mind, conditioned to analyze and plan, often complicates manifestation unnecessarily. Obsessing over every step, every detail, or every potential outcome fragments energy and generates stress. This overcomplication is the very antithesis of the simplicity that quantum manifestation requires. The remedy is mindful presence, returning attention to the internal state, to feelings of alignment and clarity, rather than external minutiae. Practices such as meditation, journaling, and conscious breathing anchor the mind in the present, maintaining coherence and reducing the likelihood that mental clutter will disrupt manifestation. Even environmental and social factors can subtly influence alignment. Negative influences, conflicting advice, or exposure to fear-based narratives can lower vibration without the seeker fully realizing it. The principle of quantum simplicity does not advocate isolation, but it does encourage discernment. Surrounding oneself with supportive environments, positive energy, and clarity-enhancing habits reinforces the state of alignment. Likewise, releasing attachment to outcomes does not mean disengaging from life. It means choosing interactions and circumstances that support rather than obstruct energetic coherence. Consistency in these practices is essential. Quantum manifestation is not a one-time event but a continuous process of maintaining alignment and flow. Challenges will arise, emotions will fluctuate, and the old self may occasionally resurface. When this happens, the key is gentle course correction rather than self-recrimination. Every moment of awareness, every realignment with simplicity, strengthens the vibrational foundation of manifestation. It is through persistent yet gentle practice that effortless creation becomes not only possible but natural. By the end of this section, viewers are encouraged to see obstacles not as failures but as opportunities for deeper understanding and refinement of their alignment. They learn that patience, self-compassion, and discernment are essential tools for maintaining flow, and that even challenges serve as part of the orchestration of effortless manifestation. The contrast between the old self, trapped in struggle and anxiety, and the new self, moving with confidence, trust, and ease, becomes increasingly vivid. Viewers are now prepared to integrate all the principles explored, simplicity, alignment, embodiment, and flow, into their daily life, ready to fully embrace the art of effortless creation, which leads seamlessly into the final reflection and conclusion. As we reach the final stage of this journey, it becomes clear that quantum manifestation is not merely an abstract theory or a distant dream. It is a living practice that flows from simplicity, alignment, and conscious presence. The insights we have explored throughout this journey reveal a transformative truth. The old way of striving, pushing, and forcing outcomes is not only unnecessary but often counterproductive. True creation emerges from a state of ease, clarity, and alignment, where energy flows naturally, and the universe responds to the vibration we emit rather than the intensity of our efforts. By moving away from struggle and embracing simplicity, we allow the miraculous orchestration of life to unfold without resistance, creating space for possibilities that were previously inaccessible. This is not a passive waiting but a dynamic, receptive state of being that invites reality to conform to our inner harmony. The contrast between the old self and the new self is profound. The old self, conditioned by fear, doubt, societal pressures, and deeply ingrained beliefs about worth and effort, operates from tension and resistance. It measures success by achievements, external validation, and relentless striving, often exhausting itself without experiencing the true essence of fulfillment. The new self, awakened to the principles of quantum simplicity, understands that alignment and coherence, not struggle, are the most potent tools of creation. This self moves through life with gentle confidence, acting with intention yet releasing rigid attachment to outcomes. It embodies the desired reality in thought, emotion, and presence, radiating the energy of manifestation without forcing it. In this state, the universe mirrors the internal vibration, effortlessly delivering synchronicities, opportunities, and outcomes that are perfectly aligned with our intentions. The transformation is not superficial. It permeates every aspect of life, shifting perception, choices, and experiences into harmony with what we truly desire. Integration of these principles into daily life is essential. The practices we have explored, visualization, emotional alignment, embodying the future self, releasing attachment and cultivating gratitude, are not isolated techniques but interconnected habits that reinforce alignment. Each day becomes a laboratory for conscious creation. When we notice moments of tension, doubt, or resistance, we can pause, realign, and return to the frequency of simplicity. Every interaction, decision, and thought becomes a reflection of our inner state, subtly shaping the outer world. Gratitude acts as a stabilizing anchor, raising vibrational coherence and fostering receptivity. Over time, the individual begins to notice that manifestation no longer requires forced effort but flows naturally, as an effortless byproduct of consistent alignment. Life itself transforms into a canvas for quantum simplicity, where each experience is not a struggle but an opportunity to practice, refine, and deepen resonance with the universe. Trust is the final, indispensable component of effortless creation. We are not powerless observers at the mercy of circumstance, nor are we required to manipulate outcomes through struggle. We are conscious creators, capable of harmonizing with the infinite field of possibilities. By embracing simplicity, releasing the need to control, and cultivating patient awareness, we step into a state of mastery that is as subtle as it is powerful. True mastery does not demand perfection, nor does it rely on intensity or force. It arises from understanding the elegant interplay between consciousness and creation. The universe responds to the quality of our being, not merely our actions, and it rewards coherence, presence, and alignment with experiences that reflect our inner reality. The journey from struggle to simplicity is transformative not only externally but internally. The old self, trapped in fear, anxiety, and relentless striving, gradually gives way to a self that moves with grace, clarity, and trust. Every action becomes intentional yet effortless. Every desire is held with openness rather than tension, and every moment becomes an opportunity to practice alignment. Even when challenges or doubts arise, the new self navigates them with gentle awareness, recognizing that obstacles are not failures but invitations to recalibrate and deepen resonance. This perspective turns difficulties into teaching moments and cultivates a steady, unwavering state of flow, where manifestation is a natural reflection of inner harmony rather than a forced achievement. By the end of this reflection, viewers are left with a sense of empowerment, possibility, and profound calm. They are invited to embody the principles of quantum simplicity in their daily lives, to cultivate alignment and presence as a foundational practice, and to trust that the universe will respond in perfect harmony with their inner vibration. Manifestation, once seen as a distant or difficult goal, becomes a seamless extension of being, a dance between consciousness and creation, guided by clarity, trust, and emotional coherence. The invitation is to live fully in resonance with the universe, to become a magnet for the reality one desires, and to embrace the elegance of effortless creation. The transformation is ongoing, subtle, and infinitely rewarding, offering a lifetime of experience in which the art of manifestation is not only learned but lived. As this journey concludes, the viewer is left with the understanding that simplicity is the ultimate power, alignment is the ultimate strategy, and presence is the ultimate tool. By integrating these principles, manifestation becomes not an event but a way of life, a continuous, graceful unfolding of the highest possibilities. The old self, burdened by struggle and tension, is replaced by a new self that radiates coherence, calm, and magnetic power. The path ahead is no longer about effort but about resonance, not about control but about flow, and not about struggle but about the elegant, natural art of creating through simplicity.